folks, welcome to this week's Ag Report. So this week, we're going to talk a little bit more about the Ellis County Youth Expo. This year, it's running 2 weeks long. Normally, it would have all been taking place over a 6-day period on there. But with some of the COVID stuff, they have put it to a 2-week. As y'all probably heard in our last report about the timing of different things, and you heard a lot about a lot of different projects. So today we're going to talk to you a little bit about some of those projects, what they are, what they kind of look like, and maybe why those students chose to do some of those. So there are a lot of different, we're going to talk animal projects. Of course, they have ag mechanics and art projects, things like that, pictures, paintings, crafts, different things that they have added through the years. But as far as the livestock projects, typically you'll have chickens, you'll have rabbits, you're going to have goats, lambs, and then you get into pigs, some of the larger, and steers and heifers, that kind of stuff. Now, as we reported last week, there will not be a broiler show this year because to make that fair, all the chickens come out of one place for all the contestants out of Texas A&M. And with the winter storm Uri that happened, that really put a kink in the hatch and that kind of stuff, so that they could not supply those chickens. So that's not taking place. But you have projects like rabbits. A lot of times in 4-H, you can start that when you're in the 3rd grade or 8 years old. And a lot of times some parents, when they're starting out with young kids like that, they might choose that rabbit or that chicken just because it's a little smaller project, maybe not as intimidating to a youngster that's starting out. But some of them do start out with, pigs and animals, and nothing wrong with that. But some of them, they'll start with those rabbits. They'll get those things. They work on how to hold them, how to position them for the judges, that kind of stuff, because the judges wanting to see the muscle structure, the meat makeup for that animal. And that really goes for whether you're talking about chickens or rabbits or hogs or any of that. In the end, we're talking about the muscle or the meat makeup of that, because that's what it goes into to produce our food is that meat. Now, in the female of the species, whether you're talking about heifers and stuff like that, they'll also take into account the bone structure of the animal, because remember, for the female, not only do you want those traits that are good for meat production, or if you're talking dairy production, but you also want to look at the female qualities as far as calving or birthing, depending on what species of animal you're talking about there, birth weight, that kind of stuff. So they're looking at a little different side of it there, because you're talking about that animal going on to kind of maybe represent the breed for a while. If you go back in history and you look at pictures from different stock shows over the years, you'll notice about maybe every 10 years or so, sometimes the animals get a little bit taller, sometimes they get a little bit shorter, a little less leg, or they'll get a little bit meatier, that kind of stuff. And those just show trends in the industry driven by consumer demand. Sometimes, over the years, folks have wanted leaner type looking animals, leaner meat. Sometimes they wanted a little juicier or a little extra layer of fat laid in there when they're cooking. So that's why you'll kind of notice those animals kind of change in height or change in stature and that kind of stuff. So
let's take a break with our interview with John Paul Dineen and go back to the Sun's managing editor, Joanne Livingston, who is with several goat exhibitors at this year's Ellis County Youth Expo.
Hi, introduce yourself and tell us which FFA or 4-H group you're with.
I'm Tegan Vest. I'm with Midlothian FFA.
Okay, and who do you have here with you?
This is Ford. He's my goat.
Tell us a little bit about Ford.
Well, he is very stubborn, but when you take him to show, he does very well, and he's happy to be with you no matter what.
What kind is he?
He is a meat boar goat.
many shows have you taken him to this year? Where all have you been?
Honestly, this is my first one. I'm a senior and I'm in many clubs, but this is the first one. I'm very excited.
How did y'all do in your class? You've already shown, I guess.
Yes, ma'am. I got 7th place, and honestly, I'm very proud of that. This is my first time, and I couldn't ask for more. I'm just happy to be here, and I think I did really well.
Oh,
I could do better though, but
good deal. What got you into FFA?
I really love livestock, and there's many parts to FFA, like ag mech, ag livestock, and officers, CVEs, and all that. It just seems very fitting for career choices and to get you started to have a career after high school.
What are your career plans after high school?
I would like to be an architect and possibly have livestock outside of that. But
do you have college plans right now? Do you know where you're going?
I would like to go into the Air Force, and they have jobs in Germany for architecture, and I would love to pursue and see where that takes me.
That's exciting. I like that. Now, your family, do you come from a farming family?
My mother was actually raised in Iowa, but they mainly grew corn and soybeans, so she wasn't really livestock, but we all love it pretty much.
Why would you encourage families and young students and stuff to get into FFA?
It really helps you with your personality and creating good people skills, and really helps you with just your day-to-day lives, and especially once you get out of high school, helps you with a career.
How long have you been in the FFA program?
Since my sophomore year. I'm a senior right now, so only a couple of years, but I wish I started much younger.
Okay, so that would be something to start as young as
Yes, most definitely. When I have kids, I hope to push them in that direction or encourage them to go into that direction.
Have you just shown goats throughout, or?
I've shown him this year, but I built a chicken coop and I showed that at the Ag Mech show yesterday.
So you weld also?
I do weld a little bit, but it was mainly like architecture wise, and it was an all wood project for the most part.
That's kind of fascinating how you've tied your architecture dreams in with, livestock and ag mechanics and all of that.
Most definitely. It's very rewarding to see all of it come out.
FFA has a pretty big program there in Midlothian, doesn't it?
Oh, most definitely. All the kids love it there.
Well, any wrap-up thoughts you'd like to share about the program, or?
I think many people should start at a younger age. It's very rewarding, and it helps you a lot with life.
Okay, well, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Of course.
And we will let you get back to whatever else you've got to do out here at the Expo.
Of course. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay. Hi, tell us your name and who you're with.
My name is Adam McDowell. I'm with Waxahachie 4-H.
How long have you been a 4-H member now?
This is my 3rd year.
Okay. Have you always shown goats?
Yes.
And your project here?
This is Captain. He's my better goat out of the two.
Tell us a little bit about him.
Well, he eats a lot.
He eats a lot?
Yeah.
Do you get a relationship developing with these animals as you take care of them?
Yeah, we really do. We get a pretty good bond with them.
Have you always shown the goats?
Yeah, goats is the only thing I've ever shown.
Now, you're about to go in and show in a showmanship class.
Yes.
Tell us about showmanship. What's involved with that?
Well, it just takes a lot of focus and just knowing your animal, knowing things about your animal and the parts of it and your food and all that stuff.
What are your plans for after high school?
Well, I'm not completely sure yet, but probably some sort of maybe digging, like excavation type of thing, or maybe agricultural. I'm not real sure yet. Those are just things I've thought about.
Well, tell us a little bit about the 4-H program you're in and what it does for you.
Well, it helps a lot getting to make friends whenever you're homeschooled. You know, you don't see a lot of people, but it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
Would you encourage other people to be involved in 4-H?
Yeah, it's very good for you.
Why goats? What got you into goats here?
People that I was friends with showed lambs, and I don't like lambs. I don't know why. But I like goats, so I just decided to show a goat.
Is it because you don't have to shear them?
Well, you still have to clip them, yeah. I just like goats more than lambs, and I don't really like pigs either, so.
All right, well, I guess that makes sense. Well, he seems a nice sort there.
Yeah.
So, and showmanship, that's not required that you show showmanship, is it? Or?
No, it's not. It's just kind of for fun and practice in the ring with your animal.
Okay. Now, did you already show in his class?
Yes, I did.
Okay. How did you do there?
He got 6th in his class.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, is he going through the sale, or you?
No, only top 4 went to sale.
Okay. Okay, so do you look at keeping them for a while then, or more shows on the way?
Yeah, I'm gonna probably get more goats next year.
Good deal. Good deal.
Yeah.
Anything else you'd like to share about your experience with 4-H or with goats? Or?
I'd just say that it's a lot of fun. If you're thinking about it, you should try it.
While at the expo, Mike Sackett had the opportunity to visit with several people showing rabbits this year. Let's take a look and hear what they have to say about this year's expo.
Tell us your name.
Hi, I'm Corey Morgan.
And are you a member of the FFA or
I'm a member of the Waxahachie FFA.
All right. So how long have you been an FFA member?
I've been in FFA since my freshman year, so about 3 years.
And how many years have you been showing rabbits?
I've showed rabbits all 3 years, but last year I unfortunately didn't get to show.
All right, tell us what kind of rabbit this is.
This is a mini lop. He's a broken blue, I'm pretty sure. But he is for sure a mini lop.
Now, that looks like a big bunny. How big is he?
I'm not for sure. I know my doe is a little bit bigger than he is.
Okay, so and he's market rabbit, right?
He's a breeder.
He's a breeder?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, what is it about rabbits you like raising and breeding?
They're easier than having some big, huge animal, and they're easier to handle, I feel like, even though they can scratch you.
And how long have you been an FFA member?
For 3 years.
What do you like about FFA as a whole?
Well, it's nice to have a project and have like a live animal to like help and care for.
And what have you learned about people and rabbits and agriculture through FFA?
They need a lot of care, and like they're really sweet when you get to like hold them more, and the people are really nice.
Congratulations. So,
Thank
what
you.
prize did you win?
I think it was from out of the 2 junior fancy does.
How long have you been showing?
This is my first year actually.
You had great luck the first time.
Yeah.
Is rabbits the only animal you're showing?
Yeah, that's the only animal I'm showing this year.
What do you like most about rabbits?
They're mostly calm. They don't do too much. They're not as big, and they're easy to start with.
Being a member of the Waxahachie FFA, what do you like most about being part of the FFA program?
Well, it goes towards my future career that I want to do, so I think it gives me a lot of experience for what I want to be when I grow up.
So things that you learned at FFA are things that you can carry on through life.
Yes.
What do you like about being a member of being a part of 4-H?
I like showing rabbits.
Okay, have you learned about animals in general?
Yeah.
So, What's the most valuable thing you've learned in 4-H so far?
How to keep a rabbit happy.
That's important.
Yes.
And so, your specialty is rabbits, correct?
Huh?
Your specialty is rabbits, correct?
I show rabbits. I'm also going to show a pig.
Okay. But which do you like better?
Rabbit.
Okay, now is this a market or breeder?
Breeder.
Okay, so she'll be going back home with you.
Yep.
So what is it about rabbits that you like better?
How calm they are.
So, raising your rabbits, do you have a special feed program or?
No. Not really.
They kind of chart what they eat and how much they watch their growth?
I give her a cup a day. 1 cup a day. So at the night.
Okay.
And yeah.
And what have you done to prepare for this show?
I'm going to do showmanship.
Okay.
So I've been doing questions, practicing with her.
Okay. What's the hardest question you've been asked so far in showmanship?
A few years ago, I got asked, what's a dew claw? It's the fish claw on her front paw.
Okay. You know all the parts of the rabbit real well now.
I would say decent.
All right. Well, good luck to you. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
Now let's head back to John Paul Dineen in the studio.
Shared with you a little bit about maybe starting out in 4-H. So let me share with you a little bit about FFA. Okay, so I participated in FFA, some years ago in high school. I really enjoyed my experience and had a lot of opportunities and learned a whole lot. So let me kind of explain what I mean by that. So I didn't have an animal project in FFA, but I participated in some of the leadership contests. I was on the chapter and conducting team. I was a chapter president here at Waxahachie. But I also got to take some animal husbandry classes through FFA. We talked about that and the genes and the traits of animals. I got to take ag mechanics, where I learned welding skills, oxyacetylene welding, cutting torch. We tore apart small motors, put them back together. Had to make them run to pass. You couldn't just put them all together. You couldn't have any extra pieces. But we did projects like that. I built a roller for the Waxahachie High School baseball team. That thing may still be parked under the trees out at Richards Park. I don't know. I'll have to go look for it one day. But things like that. We didn't have at that time an ag mechanics show like they do now at the expo to kind of show off some of those projects. But some of my projects are still sitting around somewhere. I'm sure under some trees, or maybe they're still in some use. So all through there are things, whether it's with 4-H in those classes or FFA. If you're a parent and you're watching this, and your kids have a little inclination that they'd like to do that, well, I'd like to encourage you to let them to. There's lots of good skills there that they can put to use later down in life, and that's where maybe some of my extemporaneous speaking skills have come from. That was a class that we did, and certainly fostered my love for agriculture. Anyways, I would encourage y'all to go out if you get a chance this week. See those kids, see those animals of all different shapes and size. Encourage them on, and remember, at the end of this week, on Saturday, will be the champion sale of all the species. So as always, try and get out there if you can. Support those kids, because not only does that money go back to them if they're young and work towards another project, But if they're a graduating senior, then that will be their scholarship money going to college or trade school, something like that. So remember, encourage you Saturday, take a trip out to the expo, join in your friends and neighbors, and support the local kids across Ellis County. So I hope you've enjoyed this little look into some of the different shapes and sizes of the livestock animals there at the expo. Y'all take care.